backs against the wall. This is our playoffs.
Everybody bring your best. Go to the heavyweight, you start
Throwing deep. Holy mackerel, they did it again.
How good is that? Give me everything you got.
The magic is back.
Come on. It's go time now. Ain't no more talking.
There are still several divisions up for grabs in this final weekend of the NFL regular season. For Dallas, the equation is really easy. Win the game, win the NFC East. The game just so happens to be against the Commanders, who are last place in said division. And Micah Parsons says the goal is to go into that game and make a statement. Here's Ed Werder.
It's not an exaggeration to suggest the playoff fate of the Cowboys will largely be determined in the final 60 minutes of regular season football Sunday at Washington. Winning Sunday against one of the worst teams in the league secures the NFC East Championship and the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. That means potentially 2 home playoff games for the only NFL team that didn't lose even once at home this season and has a 16-game home winning streak overall. And it would enable the Cowboys to avoid the 49ers, who have ended their season each of the last 2 postseasons until at least the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, it's huge, right? I mean, you want to be able to control your own destiny, and we have the opportunity to do that this year. And, a lot of the guys in the locker room were a part of that game last year in the season and kind of leave that sour taste in your mouth. So I don't think anyone's taking this game lightly. And it's going to be, we talked about it all week. The playoffs are starting this week for us.
We've got one game right here to go win this division, have a 2 seed, and that makes it a playoff game. That makes it a game, obviously, with a lot of implication. But another game that this team needs that will just help us, obviously sets us up in the position for the playoffs, but also for us to have that playoff mindset. But therefore, you just go out there and play the game that we know we can play on the road, which would be important, and just taking a bunch of confidence into this playoff game out of this game.
The conversation here this week has not been about the Cowboys' 35-point victory over the Commanders on Thanksgiving Day. Instead, the coaches have implored the players not to underestimate an opponent seemingly lacking motivation. They've discussed their last visit to Washington, which was similar to this one in that the Cowboys went there in Week 18 and lost 26-6 to a Washington team starting Sam Howell for the first time. Dak Prescott played into the fourth quarter in that game. The Cowboys cannot afford that kind of catastrophe again without greatly diminishing their prospects for postseason success. With the Cowboys, I'm Ed Werder, ESPN.
Postseason success. That's the sticking point. It's not that the Cowboys don't get to the postseason. It's that when they get there, not much tends to happen. They are 4-9 in playoff games since the year 2000, which is the worst win percentage among the 24 teams to have played in at least 10 playoff games in the same time frame. Winning the division, though, could be big because not only are they significantly better at home, especially this season, but historically the Cowboys are an even 500 in home games in the playoffs compared to just 1 win in 7 road games.
Former New York Jet Darvin Cook has landed in Baltimore. He's a Raven after going unclaimed on waivers Thursday. 28-year-old even let go of the guaranteed money he was owed from the Jets to make it happen. The Flock already have the #1 rushing attack in the league. Adam Schefter, why the Ravens?
He wanted to have the opportunity to pursue a Super Bowl, and he wanted the chance to make playoff bonus money, and he wanted to play on a winner. The Baltimore Ravens fit on all standards, and now they can add a running back like Darvin Cook, who initially signs with Baltimore's practice squad, then will be elevated shortly before Baltimore's playoff game, and he'll wind up playing in that game and getting some work in the Ravens' backfield. So he was looking for an ideal fit. He felt like this was it, and once he cleared waivers today, and no other playoff team claimed him off waivers, that enabled him to go ahead and sign with Baltimore after he forfeited and waived some of the guaranteed money that the New York Jets would have owed him. He wanted to give up that money to go play for a contender. He gets his wish in Baltimore.
All right, so Darvin Cook brings depth to a team that's dealt with injuries this season. They've already lost both J.K. Dobbins and Keaton Mitchell for the season at running back, opening a clear need in the backfield with Lamar Jackson. Despite this, they've managed to clinch the #1 seed in the AFC.
He's officially listed at 7'4".
All right, we'll
so
go
that's
with that.
1 inch more.
Who's in, who's out? Week 18. Let's go around the NFL to find out who's starting in Miami. Pro Bowl quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is in full go at practice Thursday, in line to start the full season for the first time in his career. Raheem Mostert and Jalen Waddle missed practice for a second day in a row. Both players sat out Week 17 against Baltimore with ankle injuries. Good news for the Bills. Josh Allen was a full participant at Bills practice Thursday. His neck still sore along with a finger injury, but there's little doubt he will play on Sunday. Allen hasn't missed a start since his rookie year. The Bills are trying to lock down a 4th straight division title. There's still 4 divisions up for grabs heading into Week 18. The big Sunday night matchup between the Bills and Dolphins will decide the AFC East champion and the 2 seed. The Dolphins already clinched the playoff berth, but the Bills would need some help to grab a wild card spot if they were to lose. Cowboys lead the NFC East just by tiebreaker over the Eagles. The Cowboys can clinch the division and the 2 seed with the win at Washington, while the Eagles would need to win at the Giants and a Cowboys loss. And the Buccaneers, leading NFC South with just a .500 record, would win the division with the win at Carolina. The Falcons and Saints play each other in New Orleans, and one of them can steal the division with the win and a Tampa loss. The AFC South has 3 teams at 9 and 7. Listen, the Jaguars control their own destiny. They win the division with the win at Tennessee. The Texans and Colts face off, and the winner of that game will at least clinch a playoff berth and can take the division if Jacksonville loses. Win of the season. The Nuggets outscored the Warriors by 21 points in the final 6:45 of the 4th quarter on Thursday. Shot 7-11 from the field compared to the Warriors going just 1 for 12.
Wow.
Also, Jokic.
So lopsided.
39-footer buzzer beater to win the game. Live at the mic. Let's go to head coach Michael Malone.
Well, yeah, we got the stop with Jamal Steele, and I tried to call the timeout right away so we could advance it. The referees obviously didn't give us that, so we had to take it out 3-quarter court. And the first look was going to be Jamal Murray up the sideline. Second look was going to be KCP coming off of Nicola. And then obviously lastly, Nicola flashing back to the ball. And then I said, I want you to take 2 dribbles over half court and shoot the 3. And he executed the play to perfection. But great players make great plays. And, Nicola catching the ball there and then making something happen behind that is just incredible. That's our 6th road win in a row. And when you get down to this team, it's very easy to drop your head in this building with that crowd. And that's probably the thing I was most pleased with tonight is that everybody, coaches, players, we just stayed the course, even after that 3rd quarter, which they dominated. But we closed that game, I think it was a 25-4 run to close. And you don't see that happen to that team in this building very often. So very proud of our group for staying with it. I thought Aaron Gordon was great being back in the Bay, 30-9. Nikola Jokic, another Sombor triple-double. And I thought Jamal Murray's, a lot of times you'll see like Jamal's energy. He wills us to a win sometimes. And I thought his energy, he got into foul trouble, but I thought he was terrific throughout, especially in that 4th quarter. And the last guy I got to mention is Peyton Watson. Look at a young kid like Peyton, who's basically a rookie this year, closing out a game on the road and making some really big plays